Harita. I'm going to explain about the mainframe technology. What is mainframe technology? Where we can use, and which application we can use. How we can execute the mainframe applications and all. We are going to know. So by using my sessions, how you can become a good mainframe developer, and also you can learn the practical. You can get the practical knowledge on coding part. How we can execute the mainframe applications, or how the result we can expect. All these kind of information we can get. And also once we discuss about a specific topic, we can know about the interview questions, what interview questions also we can face on this topic, which will help you in the fresher level or experience level. Please do like, subscribe, and share the channel if you like. And let we'll discuss about the what is mainframe. So mainframe is a big computer, and it will execute the large amount. It will execute the applications. Once the application is executing, it has the high performance on the computer server, and the data servers designed to process up to 1 trillion web transactions daily in mainframe, and also is using for large scale data processing, and task execution is very fast in this, which will require in case any application required greater security and high performance. Means any application we are developing, definitely it should require the security, and the performance is most important, right? So the mainframe applications are also having the greater security, and it will execute fastly. Who manufactured these mainframe application, mainframe computer? HP, Honeywell, Bull, IBM, Unisys, and TAN. Many companies are using this mainframe manufactured, and HP, Honeywell, Bull are providing small and medium-sized applications. Others will provide the large applications. How do mainframes work, and what are the features in mainframes? We'll see. So this mainframe applications, once we build the mainframe application, this mainframe application will run in common operating systems like Unix and ZOS operating system, and it will also store the large volume of data. So definitely in the real time, in the once the user is using the application, so definitely it will require to store the some amount of data. In case that application many peoples are using that application, then definitely large volume of data we need to store and we need to maintain. So this mainframe computers also will store the large volume of data, and it will also process with very high speed. So once we are using the applications, any application, definitely it should run fast, so that the users will go through the will use the applications. So it has unique operational style to minimize downtime and failure risk. So here the downtime is it will minimize the downtime, and there is no failure we can expect in the applications once we can provide the applications to the user. The mainframe applications will run 4 lakh million instructions per second, high volume of simultaneous input output operations. Mainframe computers can run multiple applications within the same time, and also it can support lakhs of users concurrently, which is nothing but, example, let's say 1,000 peoples and 1 lakh peoples are using the same application at the same time, then definitely it will give the high performance, and also it will run at the same time. All the same application can work for all other users, and there is no virus in the mainframe computers, and there is no chance to hack the mainframe. So it's better we can in case the applications need high security and all, then definitely we can implement those applications in mainframe technology. And the mainframe has a centralized control of resources, and it can interface with any other applications easily. Okay, so these are the mainframe features. And so in case any application required these specific speed specific features, then we'll go to use the mainframe technology to implement that specific application. And who uses the mainframes? So nowadays we have many systems, like finance, banking sector, in finance sector, and in railway system, and in insurance system, and also telecommunication system. So these almost all the systems have to store the large amount of data, and also it should require the high security and high performance. So that's why these systems are using the mainframe applications to maintain their system. So mostly we are using the mainframe technology in finance, banking, railway, health insurance, life insurance, travel insurance, and business insurance applications. And also apart from these, we are also using the mainframes in computations, accounting, business transactions, and also information retrieval, airline seat reservations, and specific and scientific and engineering computation, like many systems we are using the mainframe technology to build the applications. And first of all, what is mainframe computer? So, computer is a large computer. It will connect with the different terminals, means different devices at the same time. First, what is terminal in mainframe? So, any device that gives a user access to the operating system and applications that run on a mainframe, then that is we can use the terminal. A mainframe terminal can be a physical device. Means example, one physical device that will connect the hardware. Means here the terminal we are calling as a 3270 is a one terminal hardware that is linked to the mainframe through a controller. Means the one physical device we have, and there we have the 32701 terminal hardware that is linked to the mainframe through the controller. Okay, so here in the mainframe we are using the operating system as a zero downtime operating system to maintain the applications. How can I learn mainframe? First, mainframe technology. I'm saying, okay, we are going to learn about the mainframe technology. So, in mainframe technology, how we can write the program, how we can execute, what language we need to know, and how the language structure. Is it a structure-oriented language, or it's a program? I mean, standard language, or like we have different thoughts we'll get in our mind to before learning the mainframe. Okay, how we can learn, how many ways we have to learn the mainframe easily, like so basically we can read in case some persons will read some books and they can get the knowledge, then they can go by using the IBM Red Book. So there we have the introduction to the new mainframes, and every time when is there any update happened, then definitely the IBM Red Book will have that information. And also we can take the online sessions, like can we can follow any YouTube channel, or we can take online classes also from the IBM mainframe developers. And also in person mainframe training, like directly in case some person know about the IBM mainframe technology, so we can consult them and we can take the we can learn the mainframe technology by interacting with them. And also so once we read the book, or we took the training from the online, or we directly from one person we took the training, means from institutes or any other way. So for the very first time, definitely we don't understand properly, because in the very first time only, we don't understand what they told, and where we are using and all, whatever the topic they're going to they explain. So once we listen about any topic, or we learn about any specific topic, then it's better to reach out any online tutorials. Like we have many tutorials to provide them information about the mainframe technology, like mainframetutorials.com. We have ibm mainframer.com. The best one is when we have some time to read the more information about the mainframe technology, we can use the mainframestechhelp.com and mainframegurukul.com. Like we have many tutorials. Just I am providing few which I referred while learning the mainframe technology. You can use anything which you are able to understand. And does mainframe require coding? Definitely. Any technology, any application we are going to implement, definitely it should require some coding part, until unless there is a automation. Even automation also, we need to write the coding to automate any application. Similarly, here also we are implementing any application. That is the two we are going to implement the mainframe application. Definitely, we need to learn few skills about the mainframe technology. Example here, firstly, mainframe required coding. Yes, definitely. Firstly, mainframe is a server and platform where many languages are hosted for application program. Uh, we have few languages. So by using those languages, we can build the applications, mainframe application. Unlike other programming language, one benefit we have here is, so whatever the coding we are writing in mainframe application, so that is like user like language, means English like language. Example, how one English line we are reading, similarly in the application program also, the line having English words only, we can use English words, and we can build the sentence or any logical or anything logical operation or anything, we can use the English words only. So it is very easy to understand what we are doing in this program, and for which purpose we developed this application program. That we can once we can go through the program, we can easily understand. Apart from CICS, so we have one module in the mainframe technology, CICS. Apart from CICS, which requires hands-on experience, and you will learn it easily. So, how to become a mainframe programmer? So, I am going to learn the mainframe technology. Okay, fine. So, what all I need to learn? Because I'm mainframe technology, I need to build some mainframe applications. So, how I can become a good programmer? How how I can tell about me? I'm a good developer in the mainframe technology or something like that. So how we can get it means we need to learn few skills about the mainframe technology. So what those are most important skills. We have five skills. So those are we five skills we can say, otherwise five modules we have overall in mainframe technology. We can see any application within these modules only. Okay, so the first module is COBOL, next is JCL, DB2, CICS, and VSUM. Okay, so COBOL we are saying, JCL we are saying, DB2, CICS, VSUM. What is COBOL? What is the language? What is the database? So how we get to know? We can see. There is no problem. So here, definitely any application we need to maintain some data, and we need to write the code. Okay, so here also, when we are going to implement any mainframe application, so we can use the one language to build the application. So here what we are going to use means main COBOL language we can use. Sorry, yeah. So COBOL language we can use to build the mainframe application. And COBOL language, I said mainframe COBOL mainframe programmer mainframe programs are English like language. So I wrote the English like language means which is user can understand, but those system won't be understand, right? Operating system won't be understanding. So what we need to do? We need to convert the user understandable language to the machine language, means which is nothing but zeros and ones. So the system only will understand binary language, means zeros and ones only. So for that purpose we need to convert the main COBOL program to machine language. So what we can use, JCL we can use, job controlling language. So the JCL will work as the interface between the application program and the operating system, means from user language to machine language and from machine language to user language, like this will carry the information between these two. And also when this application should run, all these kind of scheduling part, these kind of stuff we can do by using the JCL. And now, okay, fine. I wrote some logic in the COBOL program and I run it, so on. So. But any application we are using, definitely we need to store the data. So for that purpose, we have the module here, DB2, database. So database information also we can learn and we can use in our applications. And CICS, Customer Information Control System. I forgot to mention you one thing. So basically, the mainframe applications, mainframe programs, whatever we have, so all we can categorize two. One is the batch and one is the online. So we have the batch applications, online applications. So batch application, which is nothing but backgroundly, or we can do some operations on database. So for that we can use the modules as COBOL, JCL, DB2. So whatever the database we need to maintain, so we need to write the COBOL program for that, and we use the database in that, and we need to convert that from user understandable language to machine language. Again, do some operations by using the machine language, and it will carry the output to the user by using the same JCL from back. And online system, online applications also we can build by using the CICS. In the mainframe applications, online applications also we are using, like banking system. So when we go to the ATM, just we are inserting our ATM card, and we are entering some information about the or PIN number, or we need to change the password, something like that, which is nothing but online we are doing, means on the spot you are entering and doing some operations in the background. So that applications on these kind of ATM or banking applications, and whatever online we are going to use the applications in online, so those we can build by using the CICS module. At last we have the visa. So what is visa? So basically we have the files concept in the mainframe technology. We can discuss while going one by one in depth. So the files also, we have two types of files. One is the security, high security files, and normal files. So in normal files, we can write the files concepts in COBOL only. In case the file required high security files, we have those we can build by using the Visa modules. Okay, just I'm going to show you the just what I'm going to explain about the first one by one. So now I'm going to explain about the just a simple what is COBOL. COBOL is a common business oriented language. So almost our mainframe programs, definitely we can use the COBOL language to write the applications, application programs. Sorry. So here COBOL was the first widely used high level programming language. So basically how we have the C language, Java language, other language, Python, something like that. Similarly we have the COBOL, Proton, some old languages also. Here in mainframe technology, we are to develop the mainframe applications, we are going to use the language as COBOL language. So the COBOL language is English like language, so which is user friendly. We can easily understand about the logic, and in case we want to write some logic, then we can easily implement that. So it handle huge data processing. So I mentioned in we have the two types of applications in mainframe, online applications and batch applications. So batch application is nothing but we need to maintain some database, right? Example, banking system. How many example only we have one person may have the two accounts or three accounts. So that person has the three account, and each account maybe they can he can do one transaction per day or 10 transactions per day, means for monthly minimum 30, like that he has three cards, and for each 30 transactions he is doing, like that how many peoples we have in our old, means crores of peoples, right? So basically these information we need to store and store in some place, and we need to process very fastly. So by using this COBOL language, we can handle huge data processing at the same time, and it is compatible with previous versions, means in case like in Java, in C, we have the versions upgrade, like similarly here in COBOL also we have the versions upgrade update, like this year maybe the COBOL version is so and so, next year a few features added to this language, so then the COBOL version will bump up, means it will increase. Okay, so but so there is no that much difference we have with the previous version and the current version. Just we can compare both versions, it is easy, just we can change minor changes so that the program application will run as expected. And COBOL has effective error messages, and so resolution of bug is easier. Oh, effective error messages, which is nothing but once we wrote the application, we compile it, then it will say, I mean, in case of syntactical errors we have before that line only we can identify what we did the mistake in that line, like that we can easily identify the errors in the COBOL language, and also we easily we can fix the bugs. Okay. Okay, so till now we discussed about the what is COBOL and all. So what features of COBOL we have? Let's see. It's a standard language. When we are writing some COBOL language programs, so we need to follow some rules, and we need to keep in our mind some points. So it's a standard language. It's a business oriented language, means business applications we can use the COBOL language, and it's a robust language, which is nothing but the processing is very high, and huge data we can process with high speed. And it's a structured language, means we need to follow the structure. I mean, first we need to do something, and next only we need to do, and the variables part we need to declare in some specific phase, like we have the rules to while writing the COBOL program, we need to know about the rules and all. How to execute the COBOL program? Okay, I wrote the COBOL program. Now the COBOL program is ready. Once I learn the what is the I mean some standards and all, I wrote the one COBOL program. How the execution will happen in COBOL programs means, first we need to write the COBOL program. Okay, okay. Just we are assuming we wrote the program correctly without any errors, but we need to compile it because that is only user understandable language, the COBOL program. So first we need to compile that program, means in the compilation what will happen, it will check the syntactical errors, means is there any mistake we did, means the rules we did not follow, or the reserved words we used in misplace or something like that, any rules we break, So then this compilation will give the information, so and so place you did the mistake, something like that. Just it's give the syntactical errors, it won't give the logical errors. Logical error is nothing but you are assuming you are writing the program for subtraction, but you mentioned the addition logic. That is logical thinking. Machine don't understand which purpose you are going to write the program and what is your output expectation, right? So just it will check, okay, this line you wrote the coding properly or not, means syntax related errors it will check in the compilation. Once the compile is done and the code is converted to the machinery language, then we need to run the program. Means the operating system will execute the application program and it will give the output to the user. Okay, so then it will convert again from machine language to the user understandable language, which is nothing but COBOL language. So that we can see the output. So just I'm providing the sample COBOL program, but we can discuss in next class in deep what is the structure we need to follow, how we can write the COBOL program, and in which software we can use to write the mainframe programs and all. We can discuss in next session. Okay, I'm going to give this sample COBOL program. Here, just the sample program structure here. So just we need to follow the structure rules. And once we wrote the COBOL program, if you see here, this is the just English language like identification. Okay, this is the identification, division, program ID, hello, procedure division. Like each you can see here, each word is like forming with English word only. Okay, and once we wrote the COBOL program, we need to compile the program. So by using this, we can compile the program. In case of any errors, we can get here. And at last, we need to run the program. Okay, so that we can get the output. So here, the my sample program is just to display the hello world. So just I'm seeing the output as a hello world. Let's we can see in the next session what is the I mean how the COBOL program will write and what rules we need to follow, and how we can identify in case of any syntactical errors, how to check the program flow. These kind of stuff we can learn in the upcoming sessions. Thank you for watching. Keep watching my channel to get more information about the mainframe technology. And thank you. Have a nice day.